Hello and welcome back to my Read Aloud channel and hopefully the final um the final episode for today because installment I guess is what I was looking for because I've already posted 4 videos and I really haven't even gotten to the next part of the scripture that I was reading that I was intending to read today, so it's turned into more of a commentary on Saturday. And I had a few articles pulled up that I wanted to pull from to kind of get at that nagging question I feel that can come up when we hear things of this nature in the Bible. And that was from 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 25. The whole verse says, if one person sins against another, you know what? I'm not going to read the whole. I'm going to read part B because otherwise it'll take too long. His sons, however, did not listen to their father's rebuke, for it was the Lord's will to put them to death. And on that note, I pulled up some commentary. In my last video, you'll hear the one that just kind of gives us an idea about what Phineas and not Phineas and Ferb, Phineas and sorry, let me get their names, and Hophni did, and their judgment by God. It talked about how they should have known because the judgment had fallen on Aaron's sons as well, who were serving in the same capacity, and so it ended in mid sentence. It said, Eli's sons would have been aware of what happened to Aaron's sons, yet they directly disregarded the warning in pursuit of personal satisfaction. So it's kind of getting at, they were well deserved, and you know what I mean. And at the same time, when we get to the new covenant stuff, we realize that we are not given the consequences of the sin that we commit, but someone took those consequences for us. So that's what it talks about when we wonder further, oh, is God a murderer? There was an article on that. Or why did God, in the part where it says he hardened Pharaoh's heart, kind of like it was his will to kill them? What was going on with that? So those are the next 2 articles I'm going to pull from. And I'll start with, does God killing people make him a murderer? And I just want to read a really short part of that. It is true that God has intentionally killed many people. In parentheses, God never accidentally does anything. In fact, the Bible records that he literally wiped out entire nations, including women, children, cattle, etc. In addition to that, God killed every living creature upon the face of the earth with the exception of 8 people. We know what that was from, Noah's Ark. Does that make him a murderer? As already stated, to kill and to murder are different things. So I think that's what I wanted to put. Okay, so it says, I'll just read the first paragraph and I think that'll suffice. The Old Testament records God killing multitudes of people. The misconception that killing and murder are synonymous is partially based on the King James mistranslation of the 6th commandment, which reads, "Thou shalt not kill," Exodus 20:13. However, the word kill is a translation of the Hebrew word ratsach, which nearly always refers to intentional killing without cause. The correct rendering of this word is murder, and all modern translations render the command as "you shall not murder." The Bible in basic English best conveys its meaning: do not put anyone to death without cause. Okay, that's why it said in parentheses, God didn't accidentally do anything. In order for God to commit murder, he would have to act unlawfully. We must recognize that God is God. His works are perfect and all his ways are just. A faithful God who does no wrong, upright and just is he. And that is quoted from Deuteronomy 32:4. I'm going to move right along to the next article. Why did God harden Pharaoh's heart? Exodus 7:3-4 says, "But I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and though I multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in Egypt, he will not listen to you. Then I will lay my hand on Egypt, and with mighty acts of judgment, I will bring out my people, the Israelites."